everyone, welcome back to the Leah Loves to Knit podcast. Today is July 8th, 2025, and this is episode 4. You can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Leah Loves to Knit. It's the same username on both websites. And on Ravelry, all of my patterns are currently on sale for the SEASIDE sock long, which is a knit along we have going on currently. I'll talk more about that later on in the episode. And then all of the links to anything that I talk about, any shops, any yarn, patterns, whatever, is going to be down below in the description box. So if you were interested in finding out more about something that I share, you can click down there. If you can't find the information you need, just send me an email and I will get back to you. My email is also down in that box. Okay, so finished objects. I have a couple to share with you. The first finished object I have, you guys have seen before. These are my Saber Socks. This is a pattern that I tested back in April. It would have been April for 3 by the Sea designs. The Saber Socks are Star Wars themed, and it has like this stripe here, this strip of texture that is meant to look like lightsabers in battle, like when they're clashing. For the test knit, I used 3 by the Seas Coral Reef. It's the multicolored one as the main color. And then over here on my heel, I used their Coral Reef colorway. And what I thought was really neat about this pair of socks is the stripes are, how do I put this? It's like a left sock and a right sock. So when you put them on, your stripe will show like on the outside, if that makes sense. So I thought that was really cool. I knit them exactly to pattern, just the way that Kim has it written. And the pattern is available, I believe it's just through their Etsy shop if you guys are interested in that. But it is available now. So these are my Saber Socks. And my next finished object is a pair of socks for my husband. These are my Sweet Liberty socks. These are just a pair of vanilla socks. I did 20 rounds here on the cuff of knit 2, purl 2, 60 on the leg, a heel flap and gusset, and then I knit them to it's a men's 11, a US men's 11. I was knitting them to a 10.5, which is his shoe size, but I don't know if it was like my tension, my gauge. I don't know. They were just coming out like a little bit too tight. So I used the sock ruler to just increase the length by, I want to say it's like 1/4 of an inch. And it took me up to the next shoe size, but I think that's made a pretty big difference so far. I've done it on the last couple of pairs, and they seem to have a better fit to them. So the yarn I used is Sweet Liberty by Moose and Merino, in case I haven't said that yet. Yeah. Okay, my next work in progress is this pair of Ready to Flamingo socks. There we go. Okay, you have seen these before. They've been a whip for a little while. I've been just kind of slowly working on them. I have a pop of color up here at the cuff for just a couple of rounds. I think it was like 2 or 3. And then I switched to the pink for my main color. So the cuff is 20 rounds. It is knit 1, purl 1. And then I have a 60 round leg, heel flap and gusset. And I knit these to a women's 7.5, which is my shoe size. There's a pretty good chance that my daughter is planning on taking these. So we will see who they end up belonging to later. But these are my Ready to Flamingos, and that is by Florida Girl Fibers. Last time I was on her Etsy shop, I do believe she had more of these sock sets. They might have been a pre-order. I don't think they were ready to ship, but she does have more available if you are interested in that. You can head over there and I'll have that linked down below for you. Okay, so that's all my finished objects. And I have a couple of whips to share with you. See, my first whip is in this Mountain State Stitches bag. If you watched episode 2, I did talk about my summer knitting plans, and I was going to pair something else with this bag, but when I pulled out this sock set, I just thought it was the perfect match. So I have this mini skein. The mini skein is Butterfly Garden from 3 by the Sea Designs, and you can kind of see like it's got the mint color. Mint color matches the bag, kind of like those pinks and purples, some orange. I think that's really cute together. And then the main skein that goes with this sock set is, I'm dropping it. Okay, it's just like this bright minty blue. So the more I looked at it, I was like, that is the perfect match. And I really like it when my yarn and my bag matches. So I am working on my own pattern here. This is the Cozy Sweater Sock. I've got a pop of color on the cuff, and then you can see that really fun squishy texture that I have going. The Cozy Sweater Socks are a pattern of mine. They released back in January of this year, 2025, as a collaboration with Kettle and Hearth Fibers. So she had some sock sets available on her website, and I used 2 different colored minis on there, like one for the pop of color and a different one for the heel. But for this one, my sock set just came with 1 mini, so I'm going to use that throughout the sock as the contrasting color. The yarn that I am using is from 3 by the Sea, and this green here, this like minty green, is their Serene colorway, and the mini skein is Butterfly Garden. So that's my Cozy Sweater Sock pattern. This is one of my patterns on sale for the Seaside Sock Along. If you guys are interested in knitting one of your own, you can find it in the link down below through my Ravelry shop, and you do not need a code for that. So my next work in progress is in my next work in progress is here in this Robin's Nest Knits bag. I think it's just such a cute bag. I love Robin's bags. I really liked the Flamingo floaties. It's like floaties in a pool. Flamingos, unicorns, donuts, like all kinds of cute stuff floating around in there. And in this bag, I have a Shell Yeah sock going. This is another one of my patterns. I'm using the sock set here. It is called the 19th Hole. It is from Vita Lifestyle's Golf collection. I believe this came out last summer as well. So this one is called the 19th Hole. And let me see, it's a little bit tangled, but I have the little seashell pattern here going. It's just the very start of the Shell Yeah sock. These are shorty socks. So I'm not super far. Okay, they're shorty socks, so I'm not super far on them. If you've been around since last summer, I designed these as Knitty Natty's 2024 Sock Week pattern. So it's meant to be like super short, super quick. I would say these are kind of potato chippy. Like you really only have to think about the very first round of your seashell. And once you get that going, after that, the rest of the sock just kind of comes together. It's not as complicated as it looks. And I really like that you have the hot pink stripe here with the seashell, and then you get kind of a break with a little bit of vanilla in between, and then you go back to the seashell. It's not as difficult as it looks. Say it's like adventurous, beginner friendly, but it's a really fun one. So those are my Shell Yeah socks. And my last work in progress is this bag here. It is a beautiful sister bag. It's also an acquisition. The bag and the yarn inside are an acquisition. So I went to Knit Night at 4 Pearls. It is a yarn shop over in Winter Haven, Florida. On Tuesday nights, they do a knit night. I believe it's from 6 to 8 p.m. So I met up with Kim of 3 by the Sea Designs. We had dinner first, and then we went over to the yarn shop. And when I walked in, they had this yarn right on the display in the front. It's got some pinks. It's just so summery, like pinks, bright green, gold, all kinds of really fun summery colors. And it was the perfect match to the dress I was wearing at the time. Not this one, obviously, but it was a perfect match, the dress I had on. It was like a pink dress. I had some flowers on it that were like green and gold and just this in a dress. So of course I had to have it. I bought the yarn. I bought some needles because I never have any empty ones. And I had it caked up while we were there, and I cast on. This is the very small beginning of a toaster pastry sock. Okay, so this is the very small beginning of a toaster pastry sock, but you can see I've got the ribbing started. Toaster pastry is another one of my patterns. It is a folded cuff with a ruffle around the edge. It's really fun. It's cute. It's a shorty sock, and I was just thinking like these summer colors will be perfect for it. So I didn't have a plan when I first cast it on, but I think that's my plan now, is to go forward with the toaster pastry socks. And I did not tell you who the yarn is by. Let me grab the tag here. It is from Labian. Okay, it is from Labian Yarn. For pearls also, you can purchase their yarn online and have it shipped to you. They have a huge selection of yarn. So if you want this as well, that's where you can find it. I will link that below. And it looks like that's it for my works in progress. Just checking my notes real quick. Before I move on to acquisitions, I have a little bit of like knit along news, I guess you could call it, to share with you. We are in the month of July, so this is the very last month of the Seaside Sock Knit Along. It is a summer sock knit along. It started back in May. It ends on, I think it's July 31st is the last day of July, whatever the last day of July is. That's the last day. So any sock, knit any size, like any yarn, any pattern, whatever, knit a sock. And you are welcome to enter it over on Ravelry and the Ravelry threads. I'll have those linked down below. And if you use the hashtag on Instagram, I do have enough prizes that I'm going to pull a prize winner from Instagram as well. So there's two places you can enter, Ravelry and Instagram. I will put a link down there to the threads so you can look over the rules, but it's pretty easy. If you knit one of my patterns, you do get double entries into the knit along. And okay, the other knit along news I have for you is the Knit People Knit. This will be the 4th year of the Knit People Knit along. It is our fall Gilmore Girls themed knit along. The knit along itself runs from September 1st to November 30th. So you have plenty of time to knit up anything Gilmore Girls related. I'll share the rules to that as well a little closer to time, but basically same idea. Anything, doesn't have to be socks for this one. Anything Gilmore Girls related, but you have to use a Gilmore themed yarn or a Gilmore Girls themed pattern. So it can be anything like a hat, sweater, socks, whatever. It just needs to be made with either Gilmore Girls themed yarn or a Gilmore Girls themed pattern. We have some sponsored yarn and bags coming out on Saturday, July 19th. The sponsors for this year for yarn are going to be Florida Girl Fibers, Yarnaceous Fibers, and Fangirl Fibers. All three of them will have a Gilmore Girls themed yarn available for you to purchase it's starting on July 19th. I'll have more detailed information like times and everything and some photos coming out on Instagram in the following week. So if you want to follow me there, Leah Loves to Knit, That's where you'll get like the most up-to-date knit along information. And then for bags, we have Katie's Randomness again. She is doing a tote bag and a knitting bag. And then also this year, we will have Courtney from Knit Now Swatch Later. She is also making some project bags for you guys. So all of that I will start sharing the week leading up to it. I'll have some photos as everybody gets them to me. And I will have a test call coming out towards the end of July, like after the sponsored items go on sale. I'll do a test call for my new Gilmore Girls themed pattern as well. Don't want to give away the details on it yet because I'm like so close to having it ready, but I'm not quite ready to share with you yet. So I will have that for you on the next podcast so you can get a sneak peek at it. And I think that's everything for the knit alongs. All right, so I asked on Instagram if you guys were interested in seeing my acquisitions. So I guess this is a little bit of like life and acquisitions kind of mixed into one, because there was a lot of life that came along with the acquisitions that I have over here. Okay, so back in May, I packed up the kids for the summer, took them over to my parents' house. They live in Florida, so while it is hot over there, it is different atmosphere. Like they've got the pool, they've got the beach, they've got kind of more fun things to do while it is hot, and it's usually not over 100 degrees over there where they live. The summers here in New Mexico are like most often triple digits, so it's really not fun to stay home. So near my parents' house is my favorite yarn shop of all time. It is called Knit and Stitch Boutique. It is over in Cocoa, Florida, and I was able to go for Knit in Public Day with my friend Nicole of Cozy Corner CK, and then Jackie, she is Florida Girl Fibers. This Florida Girl Fibers. And we, all three of us met up for local yarn store day. No. All three of us met up for Knit in Public Day. We went to Knit and Stitch. We got like our little bingo cards, did some shopping, and oh gosh, this is the second summer we've been able to meet up. So we did the same thing as before. Went down to a little local coffee shop, got some knitting in, went out to lunch, kind of walked around the area, filled out our Knit in Public bingo cards, went back to the shop. Jackie and I both won a door prize. I have mine here. So I won a skein of yarn. Jackie also won a skein of yarn. So that was exciting that two of us won from the door prizes that they had that day. And we just kind of hung out and knit for a little while, and it was so nice. Okay, so my first acquisition from Knit in Public Day, I keep wanting to call it local yarn store day. My first acquisition from Knit in Public Day is this little thing. I don't know what they're called. So if you haven't seen one of these before, the handle is on a clip. So it's detachable, and you stick the center of your yarn cake through here, and it'll rest on this bottom piece. And then you can hook it around your wrist, and it'll hang, so you can like knit as you walk, or I don't know, if you're out, you can hang it on something like on the airplane or in the car. You can hang it, and then your yarn will spin off of here. I think it's really cool. It does not sit flat on the table, so you can't balance it, but you can hang it off of just about everything, and I think they're really fun. I do like to knit and walk and like knit and hike, so these have been kind of like a fun little souvenir for me to collect. I have like a New Mexico themed one, and then I do have one of the yarn carousels where it's like flat and it spins on a tabletop. So I got this one from Knit and Stitch Boutique. I got some Bad Sheep yarn while I was there. The first color I got was called Sizzle and Pop. It's just like a fun 4th of July colorway. It's got some speckles going through it, some red, white, and blue. And this green here is called Aqua Aerobics. This is everything that my two boys ask for in a skein of yarn. They want blue, they want yellow, they want green. Turquoise has been mentioned several times. So this one is the perfect skein for them. And at the moment, I can still get a pair of socks for each of them out of one skein for now. Their feet are still on the smaller side. And then I got these two Bad Sheep yarn skeins. Let's see, I think they're from the Elements collection because this one is called Fire, the orange, and this one is called Earth. So I thought they would make a fun pair of socks, and even maybe like, how do I word this? Like if I made vanilla socks and then I used each of them as the contrast color for heels, toes, and cuffs, if that makes sense. Like vanilla sock, but my heels, toes, and cuffs, I could swap out the colors for it. So I thought that would be pretty fun. These are some colors that either the boys or my husband would like. So while I was at Knit Stitch Boutique for Knit in Public Day, they had a fundraiser going on at the checkout. So when I checked out with those yarns, I did buy 2 of the raffle tickets for their longest day fundraiser. And a couple of weeks later, I found out that I won. The grand prize was a $200 gift card to their yarn shop, which that is so exciting. So I went down there to claim my prize and I spent it immediately because we were getting ready to come back to New Mexico the next day. And you could use it online, but it is so much more fun to squish the yarn in person. I don't have a yarn shop nearby. I think like 3-4 hours is the closest yarn store to me. So if I have the opportunity to, I'm definitely going to buy my yarn in the shop while I'm there. So it was like supermarket sweep, you guys. Like, what do I want? I grabbed it all and I went up to the counter and I wasn't even at my $200 total yet. So I think I was at like $160. So I had to go back out and look for more yarn. So I ended up like just barely going over my $200, but it was super exciting. So I got this skein of Good Juju yarn in the Driftwood colorway. It's got like some dark blues, some browns. Figured my husband would probably like that one. More Bad Sheep yarn. This is, I think it was called Murex. I accidentally ripped the label, so ignore that. But it's kind of like, it reminded me of like seashell, beachy, I don't know, just like pretty fun and light colors. So I really liked that one. I saw this one and I thought of my daughter. It is called Good and Plenty. And this is another Bad Sheep yarn is also a local-ish dyer. They're from Florida. And then Swan City Yarns, I believe, is local to the Knit and Stitch Boutique as well. And this is the Good and Plenty colorway. But I thought my daughter would love that because it's like pinks, purples, speckles. I don't know, just everything that she would like in a sock yarn as well. And then, so when we had been there for Knit in Public Day, 3 by the Sea has yarn now at Knit and Stitch Boutique. I have all of the sock sets already that they had because I love 3 by the Sea. So while I was there, I decided to get the mini skein sets that they had. So this is the Candy Hearts mini skein set. And I got the Spring Bouquet mini skein set. And I was actually thinking that I might use this see if I can, okay. I want to use this set of Spring Bouquet minis, and I was thinking I would pair it with this Tulip Festival sock set that I have, which I think that is the same green. Yeah, so I wanted to pair it with my Tulip Festival sock set and maybe do like a Pledge to the Puffs, my Pledge to the Puffs pattern, and have this as the main color. And then for all of the stripes, I thought this would be really fun. So maybe you'll see that like in future cast-ons coming up. the Tulip Festival and the Spring Bouquet mini set. The final thing that I got with my gift card was this sock ruler. I do usually use this sock ruler. This is my trusty sock ruler that I got off Amazon. I have like measured the kids, so I have them put their heel right here and then measure like to their toes. I'll usually write it with like pencil somewhere up there so I can erase it as they grow. And it's just kind of big. I have had it in my purse before, and I don't know if you can kind of see, it gets a tiny bit bent. Like it still does the job, but I don't know, carrying it around all over the place has it kind of getting a little weird. So I even have the Kitchener stitch written on the back. So I got one of these instead. As much as I love this, I'm going to give this a try because I think it'll work better in like a project bag. I don't think you'll be able to really write on it with a pencil. It doesn't seem like it's going to erase very well. But I like that it's the snap bracelet. So I probably wouldn't wear it like as an accessory, but I like the idea of rolling it up and then you can just toss it in your project bag. So that's my only complaint about this is like it doesn't quite fit. So carrying it around, I've got to find somewhere else to put it, usually in my purse instead of the sock project bag. So while I was in Florida, I was able to meet up with my friend Sarah. We met on Instagram. She is, I think it's Sarah Hooks and Books. So we met for coffee up in New Smyrna Beach. She was there on a vacation and I'm pretty close. So I drove up there for the day and she brought me this sweet little gift. So she brought me this bag. It is from Whimsy Cool Designs. I love how it folds and then you can slide your wrist through, and she said it's really good for knitting and walking, which I love to do. Inside it, she had put a couple of goodies. This is a yarn that she used in the Seaside sock along, and she had some extra, I think it was 50 grams, she said, left over. And the tag is in here. So I'm excited to cast that on. I love the beachy colors. The blue is really pretty. And it is by White Birch Fiber Arts, and the color is Beach Please. It's like, that's so cute. I love that. So I'm going to make a pair of shorties, and they'll kind of match hers. Thought that would be really fun. And then she had this little pouch in here, yarn money, and some stitch markers. Some stitch markers from Mandy's Makings. Those are really cute. I love the colors on those too. So that was from my friend Sarah. We had a fun little knitting, chatting, like coffee get together. It was just really nice to be able to meet up with her while she was there. So that was from my friend Sarah. And there's more, you guys. I told you on Instagram there was more. When I asked if you wanted to see it, I think like 90-something% of you said yes. There was only one person that said not all of it, just my favorites. So we're going to keep going. I got a couple things. I got some stuff in the mail while I was there. I got this 50-gram sock set. This is from Stitchin' with Yarn. I love this. It's the red, white, and blue. This one will stripe into red and white stripes, and then this one looks like the stars on the American flag. I have them caked up because I'm going to be casting those on pretty soon. It's called the American Flag Sock Set, and I do realize it's after 4th of July, and I don't care. I'm still going to cast them on. My plan was to make toaster pastry socks with those. And then I was trying to decide, like, do I want to stripe them down the foot, or like, how do I want to do the colors? And would it be possible for me to make 2 pairs out of this? Because I know once my daughter sees them, she's going to take them, but I don't want her to take them. So I'm going to see, I just want to be able to like weigh it out and kind of see if it is possible to make 2 pairs out of this. I might have to add maybe some like white on the toes or something, but I'm going to give it my best shot. And then this is a Katie's Randomness bag that I have them hanging out in. I even have a sock needle in there. It's like, these are ready to go. I also got this sock set from Granite State Yarns. It is called Knitting by the Pool. It's a 50-gram sock set, and that is how I spent the summer, knitting by the pool. So I feel like that was a necessity there. She is a sponsor for the Splash Pad Party. It is a knit along going on, I believe, on Ravelry right now. And if you use her sponsored yarn, you get extra points when you enter. So I need to cake these up soon too. I'm not sure when it ends, if it's this month or next month, but you should be seeing these soon as well. Okay, more 4th of July yarn, because I got this bag from Robin Smith Knits, and I also ordered the matching coordinating Leap of Faith yarns that went along with it. Love the collaborations they've been doing lately. It is so beautiful together. I haven't decided if I'm going to hold on to this for next year or if I'm just going to cast it on. So we'll see. We'll see how far I get, like, through this pile of acquisitions that I have. I also put in an order with my friend Jackie, Florida Girl Fibers. This blue and gray color here is called 3 p.m. because in Florida at 3 p.m. this is what the skies turn into. Like stormy, rainy. It's like, that is so perfect. So I think I'm going to make these into socks for my husband. And this one is called Sunset in Paradise. She was working on a knit tank top using this, and it is so pretty. So I thought, like, the bright colors, the orange and everything was really fun. I'm going to make these into probably socks as well. But these are both from Florida Girl Fibers. I believe she has them both in her shop right now on Etsy too, if you're interested in that. I've got a little more 3 by the Sea to share with you. This is from their summer collection, which released, I think it was the end of May. So the first thing that I got was their What a Doll bag. The little Barbie fabric is so cute. And I love the tassel on here. Their bags are so well made. And then it's got like that pretty pink fabric inside. So I was able to get the What a Doll sock size bag, their smaller one. And then I got the Malibu Dreams mini skein set. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this yet, but see if I can grab another one. So this is their Malibu Dreams. It was their Barbie mystery set from this time last year. I ordered that, haven't knitted up yet, but when they released the mini skeins with it, I was thinking that would be perfect for like a scrappy sock, maybe my Where You Lead pattern. I don't know. I'm thinking I might use, like, this is the main color for Where You Lead, which gets carried throughout, and then the minis. I'm going to put it in the Barbie bag. I'm really excited about that. Something else that will probably eventually be taken by my daughter, but it could be mine for a little while. And then another 3 by the Sea acquisition. I got their Red, White, and Boom. I got the full skein, and then I got the mini skein set. You see there's like a pinky coral one too. And I'm kind of thinking again, I might do my Where You Lead pattern. It'll be fun to have like a 4th of July, maybe a shorty sock Where You Lead. Or I might use it to do Pledge to the Pups. I would have enough to do both, actually, if I wanted to. So that's kind of what I had in mind there. Then I also got their Surf's Up sock set. Really love this one. It's got like that pretty orange in there. I guess I've been into the oranges lately, which is unusual for me, but it's super pretty. So I got this one too. While I was knitting at 4 Pearls with Kim from 3 by the Sea, because we've gone to the knit night there, she was working on the, I think it's called the Love Emma shawl. It is so pretty. So it uses 1 skein of the Emma's Yarn singles base, and then 1 skein of their Surrey base. So I chose these while we were there. This Surrey is called Himalayan Salt, and then the single over on this side is Once Upon a Time. So it's just 2 skeins. I think it's going to make a really pretty, beautiful, lacy shawl. So I'm excited to start that. Okay, so 5 to 6 organized knits, I think is what it's called. They were having a sale on Instagram that I saw. I think things were like 20% off. So I ordered their, well, this is a small size project bag in the oranges. I love the orange print, and I loved it so much that when I saw they had these larger project bags, it's almost like tote bag size. I went ahead and got one of these as well. I love that. So I don't know if I'm going to use it like as a project bag, because I don't often make a project. Like I don't do a lot of blankets or anything that would totally need that much space. So I'm thinking I might use it as more of like a tote bag, and I could put my project bags inside of it when I go to knit night or something. So that's kind of what I had in mind with it, but it is really pretty. I'm excited to get started using that. So my very last acquisition is this electric ball winder. I saw it on Amazon, so I brought my Swift and my ball winder to my parents' house with me, but I'm always afraid that the ball winder is going to break, so I just decided this time that I was going to leave it there. So I put it in a drawer when I packed up my stuff, put it away in a drawer, so it'll be there for me next summer when I come back. And I got on Amazon to reorder it, but I saw this one instead, and I decided to give it a try. So it came with like a little USB cord, and you use a wall plug to plug it in. You wind the yarn like through these things. So I used it with a ball winder, and I used it with a yarn Swift. This is the ball winder. I used it with the yarn Swift, and the instructions said to like make them level. So like make them the same height, and then you could use the winder with it. So you run the yarn up through these like spring things and on through here, and it actually did a really good job. I wound my mini skein and a full skein of sock weight yarn. It got stuck once, and when it was stuck, like the spinny thing just kind of stopped spinning. It didn't go as fast as I thought it would, so it just kind of stopped. And like sometimes if you're winding really fast and your Swift like keeps spinning, and then you end up with, I don't know, a big tangle. This was not winding fast enough for a tangle to happen, so I was able to like just kind of stop that, pull on the tangle, and get things going again. I'm not sure how to pronounce the brand. I'm not going to try. But I do have it linked down in my Amazon storefront if you guys are interested. I thought it was really cool. This is the purple color. It looks kind of pinky to me in person, but the pink was sold out, so I went with the purple, and they had a couple of other colors too. I think it was around like $40, and the ball winder that I usually use is like $20, so I figured I might as well just give it a try, especially if I don't have to wind the yarn myself anymore. I hate winding lots of mini skeins. Like this. And like this. So I'm really excited to have this, so it can do that for me. So I will keep you guys posted on how that goes. But I think that's everything. So, I don't know, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, whatever. Okay, bye.